Thank you for tuning in to the Wendy Inspire channel and for joining our Happy BME Village where everyone belongs. So no matter who you are, how you are, or what you are, you're safe here with us, here in our Happy BME Village. Alright guys, so this weekend topic is going to be on emergency preparation. So as long as I could remember, I remember watching a show, Doomsday Preppers, and I think they had shows available for the last 20 years, and a lot of preppers are actually preparing for like the apocalypse, the end of the world. But I respect the preppers, and I'm going to tell you why I respect the preppers. Because not only do they prepare for the end of the world, but they're preparing for things such as job loss, things such as emergency system shutdowns. They're prepared for snowstorms or other things. They are absolutely prepared. So shout out to the preppers. In addition to preppers, we have the people who have homesteads and they have their own farms and they have the ability to provide meat and eggs and resources outside of going to the store. So let's think back of all the type of emergency items we have in place. So we all, or most of us, have auto insurance. And think about it. We have auto insurance because we are required to have it. But out of all the people in the world who have auto insurance, the majority of us never ever use it, but we have it. Also, most of us have a spare tire in our car. Now that spare tire just sits there for years and we know it's there. We have that set aside for emergencies. Just in case if something were to happen, we have our spare tire. So I have a question for you. For those of you who have loved ones, whether it is you're caring for your elderly parents, you have children, you have spouses, for all of you who have someone out there in this world that you care for, that you support, that you want to protect, especially children. I actually have two questions for you. So my first question is, if there were an emergency and your roads are shut down all around you and there's no cell towers to communicate with your child, what is your child going to do? We're so dependent on our cell phones and we're so dependent on having the ability to pick up the phone or to send a text, and if there's an emergency, reach out to someone, because we always say that, can't leave my house without my cell phone in case of an emergency, I need it. But what happens if your cell phone doesn't work? What happens if the towers go down or there's some sort of signal interruption and you cannot pick up that phone to reach out to your loved one? What happens? Also, my second question is, if there was an emergency, will you put all of your faith, all of your trust, and all of your hope into the school system, the system, complete strangers for your children? All right, so if you answered no to either one or both of the questions, I have a few suggestions that can help better prepare our family for emergencies. So a few things that I really believe in is having an emergency meeting place. So let's say this happens. Let's say all the roads around your home are blocked and the cell phones don't work and you can't get to your home, your spouse can't get to your home, your children can't get to your home. What do? How do you contact them? How do you know that they're okay? The cell phones don't work. So one thing that I strongly recommend is you and your family have an emergency meeting place. You might want to have one emergency meeting place that's close to home, somewhere that you can walk to, and then another emergency meeting place that might be a little bit further away. So I definitely encourage you to have this conversation today, some sort of emergency meeting place just in case. Another thing that I feel would be a great investment is to purchase long-range Walki Talkies. I think they're fantastic to have. So if your cell phone doesn't work, you have your long-range Walki Talkie. It can be in your glove box, it can stay in your purse. You may never use it, just like that spare tire, just like that auto insurance. You may never use it, but it doesn't hurt to have it. And if there were an emergency and the roads were blocked and the cell phones don't work, it is a good peace of mind to know that you have a walkie-talkie. I would also say that maybe you want to have a conversation with a trusted neighbor that Mr. or Miss Neighbor knows, hey, if something goes on, I need you to look out for my baby. If something, or you can even tell your child or your spouse, hey, if something goes on, I need you to look for Mr. Jones, or I need you to look for Miss Jackson, or whomever it is. But have a trusted neighbor. Another thing that I think is a fantastic idea is to have some food and some water in your house at all times. I'm not saying that, you know, go out and buy 5 years of supply of food, but it is good to have something in your house already. So think back. So back in the day when I was a kid, my mother would always do this every time we were going to get a snowstorm. So anytime the newsman said, oh, a snowstorm is coming, my mother would always get water. She would get eggs, she would get milk, and she would get bread. She always did it since I was like this big. You can't see my hand, but since I was super, super teeny tiny. My mom always did that. So naturally, when I feel like there's a storm coming, I like to try to get some water. But what I'm learning is to be even more proactive and not wait until we get the weather alert, but just make sure you have some water, some food, some toilet paper, just in case you do get snowed in. And the last thing that I would strongly recommend is that you have cash. You have a couple dollars cash on hand, or you have a couple dollars in your bank account. And again, you may never ever use it, just like most of us never ever use our spare tire. But wouldn't it be great that if there were an emergency that you had a plan? Wouldn't it be fantastic if there were an emergency that your children knew how to get to the emergency meeting place, or they knew the neighbor to call, or they knew how to operate their walkie talkies? Wouldn't it be great to have a greater peace of mind to know that our children, our family, our loved ones are better equipped, and we don't have to put all our faith and all our trust in everyone around us, because our children are equipped and we're equipped. So this is our special weekend. I like saying special because we normally have special Thursday, so special weekend. So this is our special weekend video. If you have a plan in place already, please share it with the village, because again, it's all about us learning and growing together. It's all about us just prospering and thriving. So these are my little techniques. Some of them I learned from other people, some of them I seen on videos, and some of them I came up with myself. And if you have a plan, if there's something that maybe I missed or something that you think is even better, leave it in the comment section below so we can just continue to flourish and learn and grow together. So thank you so much for tuning into the Wendy Inspired channel and for joining our HBM Village where everyone belongs. So no matter who you are, how you are, what you are, you're safe here with us here in our HBM Village. Now, if this video is not your cup of tea, if you are already prepared, you know how to do all this, and you have everything I mentioned and more, then make sure you check out our playlist, because on our playlist we have so many other videos about just different things. We have interviews, we have natural hair care, we have a lot of like natural herbs and spices and remedies to stay healthy without constantly taking medicine. So there's a lot that's going on in our playlist. So make sure you check out our playlist, and if you have not already done so, give this video a thumbs up. If you don't have a plan in place, get a plan in place. And if you feel like somebody will be blessed from this video, make sure you share. And in closing, make sure you subscribe. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Wendy Inspired channel. I'll see you next time on Special Thursday.